Alright guys, so let's start talking about factors, and then we're going to get into prime numbers, composite numbers, and even into prime factorization. First, factors are just numbers that multiply together to give me a certain product. So if we look here at our example, we want to list all the factors of 36. So I want to list all the numbers that multiply together to give me 36. Well, let's start with the obvious: 1 times 36. Then we got 2 times 18, 3 times 12, 4 times 9, and then last 6 times 6. So those are all of our factors of 36. Those are all the numbers that multiply to give me 36. Alright, so next we want to talk about prime numbers. A prime number is just a whole number that has exactly two factors, one in itself. So they're just two numbers that multiply together, only two numbers that multiply together to give me give me my number. So for instance, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. Again, there's just an infinite number of prime numbers. It just keeps going. But these are just numbers that have only two factors. So that 2, the only thing that multiplies to give me 2 is just 1 and 2. 7, the only thing that multiplies to give me 7 is just 1 and 7. So 2, if you notice here, 2 is an even number. 2 is the only even number that is a prime number. Alright, so now let's look at composite numbers. A composite number is just a number that's not prime. Just means it has more than two factors. So just some examples of composite numbers is 24, 6, 9, 27, 15. Again, there's just an infinite number of composite numbers. Just any numbers, if it has more than two factors, it's a composite number. The only exception is 0 and 1. 0 and 1 is neither prime nor composite. Alright, so now we want to start looking at the prime factorization of numbers. So the prime factorization of a number is just the factorization in which every factor is a prime number. It just means we take a number, we break it down to where it's nothing but factors, nothing but numbers that are multiplying together to give me the original number that we started with, and the numbers that we have are all prime. The method that we use for doing this, for finding the prime factorization, is called using the factor tree. Alright, so let's look at this example. Let's say we want to find the prime factorization of 28. Well, we're just going to start with 28. Pick any two numbers that we know multiply together to give me 28. I'm going to use 2 and 14. Well, 2 is a prime number, so I'm done with that. 14 can be broken down into 2 times 7. Both of those are prime, so we're done there. So our prime factorization is just 2 times 2 times 7. And in math, we don't like to write out repeated multiplication. We like to use our exponents. So just to clean this up, we can say 2 squared, or 2 to the second power, times 7. And that's my prime factorization for 28. Alright, so let's look at one more. Now let's try to find the prime factorization of 36. So I'm going to take 36. Let's just start with 4 times 9 this time. Well, 4 breaks down into 2 times 2, both of those being prime. 9 breaks down into 3 times 3. Again, both of those being prime. So my prime factorization, we have 2 2's and we have 2 3's. So 2 squared times 3 squared. Another way of doing it is, let's say we didn't know 4 times 9. Let's say I wanted to start with 6 times 6. Well, that's 2 times 3, both of those being prime. Again, 2 times 3, both of those being prime. And if we notice, we still have our 2 2's and our 2 3's. So there may be more than one way to start off, but the answer that you get at the end, there's only one unique answer, that is your prime factorization.